And we are live for another Crypto Grind live. We are going to be doing a portfolio sort of review today. So if that's something that interests you, whether you're watching live or at your leisure, welcome. And drop your comments down below. If you think, sorry, let me just put my phone on silent here. If you have any suggestions, if you would rather me have other coins, whatever the case is, let me know in the comments down below. This has been a bit of a rush to set this up. This was a last minute thing. So, you know, if you are a little bit late, whatever, no problem at all. Welcome to everybody. And of course, if you don't already know, my name is Stuart. Everybody here knows me as Crypto Grind. Welcome to the community. If you are new, make sure you're subscribing and of course, hit that like button, share it with everybody else. Make sure we get the stream out there because it is the best way to support the channel. So, as I said, what we are going to be doing is building a portfolio from 5K. I think there, you know, a lot of people don't really know what to do, what coins to go into, what to buy. So I have a couple of coins here. We can actually zoom in on these as well, just to make sure that everybody can see them. And I've taken a mixture of high cap, low cap, and I've put them together and sort of, you know, in a way that everybody, you know, projects that I like. And we're going to split them up, split the portfolio up as best as possible. And if you have any suggestions, if there's other coins that you would want, of course, then we will do that as well. So what I'm going to do first of all is just put some columns here, and we can go high caps. We can do some medium caps, and then obviously our low caps as well over here. And then we can start splitting up our cryptos and splitting up our portfolio. We have got Somali in the chat as well. It's good to see you. Welcome back. I haven't done too much research on Tectum. I've had a look at it. It seems quite good, but it's not one of the ones that I'm super interested in for a few reasons. But we can actually bring it up over here. I don't know if this is going to share. What we might have to do, stop sharing, then we'll share again. We'll share their entire screen over here, and then we'll go CoinMarketCap. And we can have a look at Tectum. Always good to see Somali Flame in the stream. You know, becoming one of the regulars, which is great. So yeah, Tectum is quite a nice low cap, sitting at 4 million. I think that's pretty good. Proof of utility, super fast, and yeah, I think that it has a lot to offer. I do see that they have a very strong community as well. In terms of their tokenomics, it's not the best. That's the one thing that I would caution against as well when you're having a look. You've got 9% out there, so I would caution. But again, I think we're all starting to see that there are a lot of projects out there where you don't necessarily have the best tokenomics. And we have to actually start trusting that these projects are actually going to be delivering what they're saying, whether you look at something like a GFL, like a Myria, like a Tectum, where we've only got 9, 10, 15% out. But we need to start building that trust in the crypto space, and this is one way that you can actually do it. So Tectum's a good project. I have touched on it, but it's not something that I've done a huge amount of research on, so I can't recommend it or not. When it comes to building a portfolio, what I would sort of recommend is that you go, obviously the higher the cap, the safer the project is. So I would recommend something around 20% in high caps, probably about, maybe a bit more, sorry, about 40% in high caps, about, I would say 30% in medium caps, and then 30% in low caps. It depends on how risk averse you want to be. But if you want to have a strong portfolio, but also make sure that you have really good gains and big gains, then this is how I would sort of split it up. You know, obviously, if you want to be less risky, then you can always say you want to allocate 60% of your portfolio or money that you have available to high caps, and then split it up. And then obviously you would then probably maybe say 10% would be your low caps. So if you go like 60% there, then you go 20% in medium caps, or we can actually do that, 30% in medium caps and then 10% in your low cap. That's one way that you could do it as well. So it's really up to you how you want to split it, but I would say the best way in terms of making money is something where you can do this, you go 30-30, so you go 40-30-30, and then you build your portfolio from there. So what my picks would be for a high cap would probably be Polkadot. Let's actually just do dot like that. I would then probably also have, see if I'm picking maybe three or four from each one, so that we can then take Matic. I actually do like Matic. I think it's a very good project. I would then take HBAR, and then lastly, I would take Algo. As much as I like Quant, I think that actually what we can do is, because Algo is actually under $1 billion, so Algo right now is a medium cap. Take it like that. So then Algorand is our medium cap. We've got that. So let's take these three for now. Then when we're looking at other medium caps as well, after we split this up, you can always add your own your own picks as well. So let me know if there's other picks in terms of medium, high, low, whatever you feel like adding as well. But then what I would probably say from a medium cap perspective is, if we're looking at this list here, I would probably pick Viot as another one. Pretty sure if we have a look here at Viot's market cap. Here, oops. What are we sitting at the moment? 13. So we can actually classify that as a low cap, which is quite nice. So medium cap. Actually, don't have too many in the medium category. We can actually, let's take a look through our coin market cap and let's pick out some of the favorites of the channel in terms of a medium cap. So we'll look at coins that are under $1 billion in terms of market cap that have some pretty good potential. Now, obviously, we've got our Algorand that is already there, because I think that's insane. Another pick that actually can do pretty well is your XDC. I think XDC is pretty good. You got Immutable X. If we keep looking down this list for something that has some good potential, what I would probably recommend on this list here is actually Kadena. I know a lot of people have a problem with Kadena. I won't be putting Casper on for obvious reasons. I've spoken about that a lot as well. And then what we'll also do as a third one is, if we have a look here, we can actually probably put Fetch. I think Fetch.ai is still relatively high as well. Yeah, so then I would pick Fetch as my next one. So then that, and we've got Fetch.ai. And those are the three that I would pick as my medium caps. Now, low caps, I would probably pick a few more, especially since we're allocating 30%. There are some really, really good low caps out there that you can make some good money off of. So one of them would be Naka for me. I would definitely put Crust Network, Morpheus Labs as well. Well, not Morpheus Labs, sorry, Morpheus Network, so MSW. Like that. I would also put, I'm trying to think now, PlayZap is a really good one. And then lastly, on this list, I'm just trying to think, I can add one more from a low cap. Let me know out there if there's any ones that you would add to this as well. I see we've got Archie in the stream as well. Really good to have you around, Archie. It's always good to see you in the stream. I see that you have messaged me on Telegram, and I was actually going to message you today as well. I think let's do it for Monday. Let's do a stream on Monday. I think that's a good idea. So we'll definitely set that up. Looking forward to catching up with you again. It's always good to have you on the channel. And of course, anybody who is in the stream, if you haven't already subscribed to Archie's channel, go and check it out. It is a fantastic channel. Really has some good advice. I'll tell you what, there is one that my Patreons have actually made some good money on in the low caps. And it is called Neuroni. That put a buy alert out, and we've done pretty well on. It is an AI project, a very new AI project with some seriously good potential. And put a buy alert on this out about a month ago, and I think my patrons are up about 2 or 3x on this one. So this is another one that I would recommend getting in, especially when the whole AI trend kicks off again next year, because I'm sure it will in the bull run. This is going to be one that I would suggest putting a little bit of a small bag on, because it is such a new project. But I mean, my Patreons, we got in around about 12 cents or somewhere over here, and we just haven't come back down. So this is definitely one that's seeing things. It's going to have some big listings in the future. So that would be another one that I would add to this as your sort of, one that you can risk, basically. So this is how I would, if I had somebody given me $5,000 and I said this is how I was going to split my portfolio up to sort of maximize gains, but still make sure that you're pretty safe. And I think we're actually in a pretty lucky position that we have these three here as medium caps that you can always, I would say that you could rely on these if we go like this. It's just color coded so we know. And then of course, low caps we know are higher risk, so we'll go red. How much would I sort of allocate to each one? That is pretty much up to you. But if we're taking 40% of $5,000, and obviously it's a fair chunk. Okay, so we're taking 40%, which is going to be $2,000 if my maths is correct. So we're going to be taking $2,000 here, and we are going to split that into these three. Now, which one has the biggest potential is what you're going to look at, because you're still obviously going to want to maximize your gains. So first thing we're going to take a look at, and what I would do and how I would split this up, is probably take the one that has done the best in the past and start from there. So we know my internet is very slow. If you are new to the stream, you will know that South Africa has been hit by some pretty bad internet speeds. We had an undersea cable that's been broken, feeding the country too, actually, and that's not going to come right for quite a while. So you are just going to have to forgive the slow internet, but I do promise that it will. Just fix the lighting over here. So if we have a look at the all-time high for Polkadot, now, Polkadot has not been given as much love as I believe it should have been given. I really think Polkadot deserves a lot more than what it has seen. So, we got all the way up to $50. Was it 50? Yeah, to 50 billion, I think it was in market cap. So we saw this do pretty well. And I think it's going to do at least the same, right? So we're looking at a minimum of a 10x, but realistically, I would say 15 to 20 is what we could be looking at, right? So I am just waiting for this to catch up with itself. So we had a price. This is still catching up on price. I don't know what is going on. I do apologize. But even if we look at price, right? So we had a maximum price of $53. We're still at 10x down. I think that this will go to between 75 and 100, in my opinion. So if we are buying right now, you're looking at a minimum of a 10x, but I would probably say, 15x. So of this 40%, I would allocate probably about half to DOT. So we're looking then at 1K to DOT, and then the rest split between Matic and HBAR. Now, how I would do that, or how you would do that, I suppose, is up to you. But I do think that Matic is a very good coin. I do think that HBAR has got a lot more room to move. So for that reason alone, I would then probably split it and say we're going to have maybe 750 towards Matic, and then you put 250 into HBAR. Like that. So that's how I would split my high cap buys. Then when it comes to your medium caps, I think Algorand is criminally underrated at the moment. We can see if we just keep scrolling down this list, look how far down Algorand is. It's right down here, 45. It's going to be in the top 10. I'm telling you now in the next bull run. So for that reason, I would put a significant amount of this 30% Algorand. Now, how much have I lost connection? So, you know, it looks like we're back. Okay, we're back live. If you did lose me for a second, apologies. Right, so we've got Algorand. Again, I would probably be taking 1K towards Algorand. Kadena, I think, is going to do extremely well as well. So then I would probably split these two equally. So we've got another 250 there and 250 in fetch.ai, like that. If my maths is incorrect, well, it is what it is, right? Like that. Now, when it comes to your lower caps, you've got the same amount of money. You've got $1,500 left to split between these. It is very interesting how you would split this up. If we're going on past results again, first of all, if we take a look, let's start off from the top of the list. What did we have? We had Nakamoto Games is one that everybody is waiting for it to drop so they can buy. But in the last week, in the last day, it's done 13%. In the last week, we've seen some serious uptrend as well. So it's really one that I think you have to DCA into. We're already sitting at 47 million. I do believe that there is the possibility that this is always going to 100x, but you can't bank on that happening. I think safely a 50x on this. And anything more for me would be a bonus in my mind. Luckily, I'm one of those people who got in a little bit lower, so it's okay. But as of right now, I think getting in here, I wouldn't be throwing. You've only got 30% left. As of right now, we've got $1,500 here that we can put onto these low caps. Now, Nakamoto, for that reason, I probably wouldn't be putting more than, maybe 150, just purely because we do only have a limited amount of money left over from this 5K basically. But you are still going to be seeing some pretty good returns. I mean, a 50x on $150, you're still looking pretty good, right? So let's also just keep ourselves in check here. So we've got 100 minus 150. So we've got 1,350 left. How are we going to split this? Actually, let's put a bit more towards this. Let's put $300 here. I think that's pretty good. So we're just going to double that up. I'm going to say 300 there. So we got $1,200 left that we're going to split between the rest here. If you're having a look at things like let's go down the list and we'll do Crust next. Now, Crustnet for me is also insanely undervalued. I think is going to do very, very well in the next bull run. You're looking at how other projects like Filecoin did and so on. And this is just adding some more fuel to the fire and It's going to be splitting the market cap and how the market are going to be spending their money with these storage coins. And I don't think we need to, you must underestimate what these storage coins are going to be doing in the next bull run. Crust Network, although we've got this here, it wasn't truly exposed to the bulls in the last bull run. They were still building. I think this is a time for Crust Network to shine, in my opinion. And it says that it got all the way up. It had a very quick spike. I don't even know how long this was. It was a space of a week that it did this. I think we're going to see it hitting at least these levels, in my opinion, and more. So for that reason, I mean, Crust Network at the moment, I don't know if this is correct. We can have a look at CoinGecko to verify, because sometimes CoinMarketCap can be trash. Sometimes they are trying to fix it, but there are times when it's really just terrible. So we'll have a look here just to verify. So we're saying 15 million here, which is probably more realistic, right? But still all-time high. It's just like all-time high from CoinGecko. I don't think we can trust CoinMarketCap for that one. But not to load. Let's see, can't find the page. I think realistically we would be, if we do market cap max, let's have a look. So this is saying that we went up to 250 million, which is probably more realistic, in my opinion. So 250 million at its lowest, I think this is a $1 billion coin. Honestly, I really do. So if we're looking at that, there is a 100x potential in Crust Network at a minimum. And for that reason, I think you do need to look at deploying a fair amount of capital here. So I would say then, if we put $500 towards Crust, right? So we just need to keep track of this, minus 500. So we've got $700 to split between these ones here. Now, Morpheus Network is another one that I think has got massive potential, especially when you look at what VeChain did in the previous bull run. VeChain went absolutely crazy, all the way up 14 billion, around there. So for that reason, and where it's sitting now at a $39 million market cap, again a 100x is on the cards, and a 300x is on the cards. So when you consider that, you do have to maybe take a chance here. Or it's not even a chance. I think this is going to do very well. They've got some really big partnerships. They have got everything lined up. They're growing slowly. They actually really haven't been exposed to the bulls yet either. They are going to be giving some serious competition to VeChain in the next bull run. And for that reason, I think you have to do the same as what you did with Crust Network, and you then would put $500 towards that as well, leaving you with 200. And I think then the best thing to do is to split that between PlayZap and to split it between Neuroni. And I think each one of these can see some phenomenal gains as well. So let's just copy and paste that as well. That. And there's your portfolio right there. You've got these low caps. I think PlayZap, if we just have a look, I know that there's been a bit of profit taking lately, but I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. PlayZap can still see insane returns. If you're a 100x for PlayZap, takes you just to 300 million. Now, I don't have Archie still in the chat, but Archie said last week that PlayZap is the next Nakamoto Games. Now, can you imagine having Nakamoto Games and PlayZap in your portfolio? If this does a 100x, just a 10x takes you to 30 million. If this does a 100x, we're sitting at 330 million. It's really not that bad. I mean, it's crazy. So we could be seeing a 200x, a 1 to 200x, I would say, from PlayZap. And then you've got Neuroni, which, remember, it is still a very new project, but it is going to catch on in AI trend. So for that reason, I think Neuroni possibility to 50 to 100x as well. So I mean, right now volume pretty low, but that's okay. We aren't too many exchanges for Neuroni for the moment, but I think that will change, and we can see this do a 100x and go with all the other AI coins as well. It's going to be a narrative that is absolutely going to explode. Now you will see that obviously I've left out a lot. We only had $5,000 to work with, but possibly what we could do is maybe take away Neuroni and put in something like a Rio as well, because I am bullish on those coins. If I had Rio, I would probably want to put more in. So then probably say 400 on Crust, 400 on Morpheus Network, and then give this 300 as well, because I do think that we are going to see these real world assets absolutely fly in the next bull run. So, for that reason, you would still want to put on quite a bit. We're sitting at a market cap of just $1 million, $1.5 million for that. So you look 100 million, which is not impossible, really not impossible. We've got the only gain is you've got to be looking at supply. Be in the chat, welcome Puppy. It's always good to see you. Literally one of the OGs. And I see that you're studying. I mean, to be studying on a Friday, that's insane. I don't know how you do it, man. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. So, Puppy, I don't know if you can always add in the comments when you're watching back, but we literally building a portfolio from 5,000. I've done it a bit more on the safe side, but also the best way for you to actually gain some money out of it. So put your comments now in the live or in the comments once you've watched back, and see what you think. If there's anything, there might be some picks that you might want to put in as well. So we go Brian's picks here, and then your picks over here, and see if you would agree or if there's anything that you would change. And maybe what we'll do is we'll carry the stream on next week, give you guys time to think about it. If there's anything that you would probably add or remove, there's always that you say, no, I think that I'm completely wrong, or one that I've missed. So because this live went out so late, the notifications would have gone out so late. So I see we don't have too many in here. So if there aren't any more comments or anything like that, I'm going to leave this for now, and then I'll actually say to be continued next week, and we will probably have a bit more structure to the stream and everything like that. And probably what we'll start doing going forward is Friday streams are going to be chilled. They're going to be talking about your gems, and they're going to be talking about how we would grow a portfolio. And if you agree or disagree, and then we can always come together as a community and have our best picks now, lock it in the next few weeks. And then that's the portfolio that will be the Crypto Grind portfolio, and we'll watch it together to see how right or wrong we were. And you can always make your own picks as well, put them down and say, you missed out on this one. So yeah, maybe what we'll do, if there aren't any more comments or anything like that, I'll cut the stream here. We'll carry on with this next week. We'll save this, pick it up. You have a week to decide what your picks would be and how you would split your portfolio out. And maybe what we'll do is we'll also then go a bit more degen, and we will build the ultimate degen portfolio from 5K as well. So this one we'll have as a bit more of a safer bet, and then we will have our degen one, and we'll work that, and we'll have two portfolios. That'll be the Crypto Grind portfolios. And of course, remember guys, if you would like me to do portfolio reviews for yourself, for you or whatever, I do that for the Patreons. So go ahead, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description, where you can, if you are on the gold tier or whatever, and part of the VIPs, you can send me your portfolio. We will go through the portfolio in a Patreon, and we can say what's good, what's bad. They are, of course, the links to my Telegram, free Telegram for the Crypto Grind community. But this is going to be a pretty quick one. I don't think YouTube sent out notifications properly, so we don't have the usual crew here, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's my fault for setting everything up a bit late. For everybody who did join, thanks for watching. As you see, I am going to be live with Archie on Monday, so that's good. pretty exciting. Looking forward to that. Thanks